And I am here today with my beautiful guest, Mary Ann Payne. She is the author of Hadley, Finding God in Autism.
God began to show us very clearly, this is going to be okay, Mary Ann. I'm not asking you always to like everything. I'm just asking you to trust me. Well, for example, we'd be in a store, a little dime store of such, and I felt comfortable enough to, loosen up that monkey grip, and I could be in one aisle, Hadley would be in another aisle, and I would hear, Hadley, and it would be some strange woman, do you think your mother would want you to open up that candy bar? She'd say, no. And the lady would say, then you need to put that back. And I'd be in the other aisle going, thank you, Jesus. You're giving me all the extra hands and eyes that I need. With Hadley, though she might not have a sophisticated grasp of thinking or talking or communication, that child has an innate ability to sense how people are feeling. I think a lot of people on the spectrum, the conversations I have with parents, I would say there's a high percentage that do not go to church because they're afraid to walk in those doors, because these kids, as I said earlier, they look normal, so that expectation is if you don't act normal, sadly, you get accused of being a terrible mama or you're just a spoiled, rotten child. Well, I finally got to a point and I said, we're going to go. So we came in, and it was a different church from the background I had come from, and it made us very nervous. And we walked in, it was a very old church, and all we could do was sit in the vestibule, I think what they call it, before you actually go into the pews and into the sanctuary. And we would there we were, the four of us sitting on a little bench. We could hear the sermon. I thought, good enough, this is a good start. At least we're getting, the kids will get back in church and we can hear the sermon. But it was like God just knew, there we were, and he was going to try to help speed up that process and make it a little easier for us. So this beautiful woman, he sat down, and wouldn't you know, she kind of scooched in right by Hadley. We didn't know who she was. She was a stately woman, probably in her 70s, just this fantastic woman who would look you right in the eyes. And she would sit next to Hadley and just kind of pat her hair and just kind of, rub her shoulders, and just small little conversation. She'd say, well, nice weather we're having today. It just kind of started out very surfacey kind of stuff. And we thought, oh, this is so nice. We haven't had this kind of love and affection in such a long time. It felt good to us. So we did that for a couple months. And then the conversation started to grow. And she'd say, well, where do you go to school? And we eventually, she got in the conversation. She knew Hadley was autistic. And it was all because of that beautiful woman, Lois, that we eventually came back to church, because she said, you guys are okay. We're going to love on you. Don't be worried about this child. You're free to go. And it was just because that little encounter of one woman taking the time. She could see we were in, this unruly entourage here, and she was okay with it. And that was the first time we really felt embraced again.